September 11th, 2001. Where were you? I'll bet you can say exactly where you were when you heard about the attacks at the World Trade Center. I know I can. I was driving from Annapolis to Washington, D.C. I know where I was when the second airplane hit, when the buildings collapsed, and when the Pentagon was hit. Where were you? And more importantly, what were your thoughts that particular day? That day has affected all of us. Today is Patriot Day. Patriot Day was designated as a day for us to remember all those that were lost on those terrorist attacks on that day. 2,977 individuals were lost in those attacks. If you're not old enough to remember, or maybe you weren't born at that particular time, how has 9/11 affected your lives? Think about it. I'll tell you, did you know that at some point before 9/11, you used to be able to go in an airport and walk your loved one right up to the gate and say goodbye at the gate? Those days are gone. Taking off your belt, taking off your shoes, your nail clippers are getting taken from you because they're too dangerous. Life has changed. How has life changed for you, and how has it affected your life? It's affected all of us. So as you think about it, today, a motto for 9/11 is never forget. Today is a time, take a little time to remember those who were lost in that particular day and those since. I want to share a couple thoughts, some personal thoughts. This summer, Michelle and I had the opportunity to go to New York City. And when we went and visited the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. And it is a memorial to those folks who were lost, and it is a museum that tells the 9/11 story. Incredible. And in our tour, our tour was given to us by an individual who was in a high school 5 blocks from the World Trade Center. And now he's a tour guide there. Very moving. And we didn't know that until after the tour was over. Incredible. One of the areas, so it's all underground. So it's in the foundation area of the World Trade Center. And the 2 foundations of the North and the South Tower are part of it. They are now water fountains, waterfalls down into the waterfalls. Tens of thousands of gallons fall into it. Really beautiful to come in. But underneath the North Tower, there's a room the size of the foundation. And underneath in that room, there's pictures of every individual who was lost on 9/11. 2,977 individuals. And there's audio playing. Audios of family members talking about them, those individuals talking. Again, never forget. So that I think that motto is very, very apt. So after that tour, this is what really stood out for me. And these are the thoughts I really want to share with you. That day, we were attacked because individuals wanted to kill as many people as they could, kill as many Americans as they could, and destroy our way of life. Take away as much life as they could and destroy our way of life. And from the time that first airplane hit, individuals, first responders, and just everyday citizens were doing all they could to preserve life. In there trying to help individuals, pulling individuals they didn't know out, doing all they could to save the lives of individuals. And since then, we've been doing all we could to preserve our way of life. So here we are, 9/11, 22 years later. When I went out and got the paper this morning, there was nothing about 9/11 on there, which I found very disappointing. We should never forget what happened there. We should understand how lucky we are to have the way of life and have the lifestyle that we could live. So take that time today at 8:46 Eastern Daylight Time. It's recommended you stop, have a moment of silence to remember those that we lost on that particular day. Those in the Twin Towers, those in the aircraft, those in the Pentagon, those on Flight 93. Thanks for listening. See you next Monday morning, 8:30. Never forget.